The Emperor's Secret Garden, a tale of sacrifice and eternal guardianship. In the heart of Kyoto, where cherry blossoms painted the skies in spring and snow blanketed the earth in winter, there lay a secret known to only one man, the Emperor of Japan. His name was Emperor Ieyasu, a ruler renowned for his wisdom, strength, and mysterious solitude. While the court admired him for his fairness, they whispered about his peculiar habit of disappearing at twilight. None dared question him, but the curiosity lingered like an unanswered riddle. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped behind Mount High, bathing the city in hues of amber and crimson, a young samurai named Kaito decided to uncover the emperor's secret. Kaito, orphaned as a child and raised by the court, had grown up idolizing Emperor Ieyasu. He was loyal, but the mysteries surrounding the emperor gnawed at him like a persistent itch. Under the cover of dusk, Kaito followed the emperor from a safe distance. Clad in a simple cloak, Ieyasu slipped away from the palace, his footsteps silent as a shadow. Through bamboo forests and winding trails, he walked until he reached an unassuming stone gate. Kaito held his breath as the emperor pressed his hand against the gate, which shimmered with an otherworldly glow before opening. Beyond the gate lay a garden unlike any Kaito had ever seen. Flowers of impossible colors bloomed under a sky filled with stars that didn't exist in the real world. Streams of golden water meandered through fields of silver grass, and trees whispered secrets in voices too ancient to understand. But the centerpiece of the garden was a massive sakura tree with blossoms that glowed faintly in the darkness. Beneath it sat a woman, her beauty so ethereal that Kaito felt his knees weaken. Her hair cascaded like liquid night, and her kimono shimmered with the colors of dawn. She smiled as Ieyasu approached, her eyes brimming with a love that seemed to transcend time itself. "Ieyasu," she said, her voice like the gentle rustle of leaves, "you've come." "I always will, Hana," the emperor replied, his voice tender yet heavy with sorrow. Kaito watched in stunned silence as the two embraced. But then, he saw something that sent chills down his spine. The woman, Hana, wasn't human. Her feet hovered above the ground, and her form flickered as though she were a reflection in a pond. Curiosity overwhelmed caution, and Kaito stepped closer. A twig snapped beneath his foot, and the emperor turned sharply. His eyes widened when he saw Kaito. "You shouldn't be here," Ieyasu said, his tone a mix of anger and worry. Before Kaito could apologize, Hana raised a hand. "Wait," she said. "Perhaps it's time he knows." Ieyasu hesitated but nodded. "Very well." The emperor explained that Hana was a spirit tied to the ancient sakura tree. Centuries ago, during a war that threatened to destroy Japan, Ieyasu had stumbled upon the garden. Hana had given him the wisdom and strength to unite the warring clans, but at a cost. "You're not just the emperor of Japan," Kaito realized. "You're its guardian." Ieyasu nodded. "But the bond is weakening. My time is running out." Hana's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "When the bond breaks, he will fade, and the garden will wither. The peace he fought for will be at risk." Kaito felt a surge of determination. "What if I take his place?" Both Ieyasu and Hana stared at him in shock. "You don't know what you're offering," Ieyasu said. "I owe you everything," Kaito replied. "If my life can ensure the peace you've protected, it's a price I'm willing to pay." After a moment of silence, Hana stepped forward. "The choice is his, Ieyasu." The emperor looked at Kaito with a mixture of pride and sorrow. "If you do this, you will be forgotten. Your name, your deeds, all erased from history. The world will never know your sacrifice." Kaito smiled. "As long as the world remains at peace, that's enough for me." Under the sakura tree, a ritual was performed. Kaito felt the garden's energy course through him as his bond to the mortal world faded. Ieyasu placed a hand on his shoulder, gratitude shining in his eyes. When Kaito opened his eyes, he found himself alone. The garden remained vibrant, the sakura tree still glowing softly. Ieyasu was gone, his spirit finally at rest. From that day forward, Kaito became the silent guardian of Japan, unseen and unsung, but ever vigilant. And though history would forget his name, the peace he safeguarded endured for generations.